Do your beatbox thing, Chad. Do your beatbox. This is what we do. Interview. Interview. Give them an interview.
Very good. Okay.
Hello.
Thank you.
Thankful we have air conditioning.
Yeah, it's kind
It
of.
is 20 degrees hotter outside.
It's brutal. I mean, just setting up, I had to bring a wash rag
go.
just to wipe
Yeah.
sweat
Yeah.
off because
Got
I've been
this.
dying.
I feel you, man.
Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk
Yeah.
with us.
Thanks, Adam.
We
Good to
love
be
you
here.
guys. Actually, what's really crazy is we have a 3-year-old son.
Cool.
And the first concert he ever went to was when you guys played the
Imperial
Beach, the pier.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That was such a memorable show.
It was.
You were there.
We were on
With
the side stage.
Yeah.
3-year-old.
Yeah.
We had him in the like
Yeah,
Ben's
just
headphones.
Bjorn.
yeah, and a Bjorn. So
Smart parents.
That was off the hook. That was
Yeah.
fun.
It
That
was
great.
like, I don't know if you saw the drone footage, but
Yeah.
wow.
Wow. When 90 went,
cool.
it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
When they asked us to play that, I was like, "Oh, cool! It should be a fun outdoor thing." We got down there, it was like, "Whoa!
Yeah.
there was
There's a lot of people here. This is amazing! Wow!"
That was
really cool.
that
You
was-
guys
And from
too.
what I hear, they don't get a lot of concerts in IB, Imperial Beach. It's everybody comes up North County or at least to downtown because there's no venue down there really.
Yeah.
But to just have an outdoor concert on the sand,
Yes.
on the water.
Yeah, it was so cool how they set it up too with the pier, and you guys were like right in front of the
Yeah.
pier. That
That
was
was sick.
that was an amazing show. Yeah, so that was
Yeah.
our son's very first concert. was
That's
seeing
cool.
you
Well,
guys.
we are honored to be part of his first musical experience.
Remember
That's
it
great.
forever. So
And now he's in college.
not quite yet.
Almost.
Grow up so fast these days.
Yeah, we have a 11-and-a-half-year-old too, so just started middle school. It gets crazy.
So yeah, so our podcast is about essentially day zero of you guys starting music to kind of how you cut your teeth, and you guys have won a Grammy, and like you've accomplished so much in your career. So how did you essentially get into music originally?
Wow. Good question. I think all of us kind of grew up in musical households.
Okay.
There was always music playing. Our parents were all somewhat musicians. And Drew, I think your mom was a
My
music
mom was a
teacher?
high school music teacher
Wow.
here in San Diego. And so I was singing in choirs and doing plays and musicals and, church choirs and all that growing up for years. And then in college, kind of stole my brother's guitar and was like, I don't want to play piano and sing anymore. I'm going to play guitar. And just kind of learned that way. Started playing in bands. That was the start.
Yeah.
Yeah, same for me. Kind of grew up in San Diego bands in high school and then in college, and ended up meeting John and Tim in college. We were going to UCSD here in La Jolla, and just started playing at coffee shops and backyard parties, barbecues, whatever.
Yeah.
And then eventually, said, wow, okay, we're going to do this. And kind of put a demo together and ended up getting signed right out of college, got a record deal with the indie label, and just started touring, just kind of playing for anybody whenever we could.
What were your first shows? Was the first time you ever performed in front of people, was that with Switchfoot, or were you?
It's funny. It was actually here at the Del Mar Fairgrounds.
Really?
My dad was a musician, had a band, and his band played one of the side stages here at the Del Mar Fair.
Okay.
And I remember him letting me back him up playing drums, and I was so nervous.
You did.
Wow, there was, dozens of people.
One song or a whole show?
I played a whole set. I think we did like an
Wow.
hour or something.
Oh my gosh.
I think I was probably 15.
Dude, was it for the Del Mar Fair?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was my first job.
Really?
I was a taco stand guy here at the
Nice.
in high
That's
school.
awesome.
So it may have been at the
Slinging
same,
tacos in Del Mar.
It was in like 90,
Aw.
91 or something.
That's
90,
great.
91. Anyway.
It comes full circle. Now
Yeah, I was
we're
just
here
gonna say,
at
yeah.
KAABOO.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that good? That's good.
That's really cool. So what about, were you first introduced the same way? Was just
Yep. So piano lessons led to guitar lessons, led to playing in bands. I played in another band for 7 years. And then that band broke up,
Okay.
and Switchfoot was already going. We were friends. We were like playing the same festivals and on different, same venues and touring a bit. And then John called me and said, "Hey, we're thinking of adding a guitar player. What do you think?" I was like, "I love your band. I've always loved the band since they started, and we're both from San Diego." And so I was like, "Okay, we'll play a few shows." And then a few shows led to another tour, and that led to 15 years.
Wow.
Now,
Yeah.
so that's fast forwarding through a lot of
of-
interesting and drama and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But that is how it started. It was
Okay.
just like, hey, want to play a few shows? We were, Switchfoot was playing what kind of shows? We were playing rock clubs, man, for
like the KAABOO. That was one of your
300
first
Nice.
shows playing with
played the
us.
KAABOO.
Here in
That
San
was the
Diego.
first
Yeah.
show with Switchfoot. I played like 5 songs in the set just to try it out, and they were like, "Hey, that went really good." Like,
Yeah.
I remember
So I was like-
that show at the KAABOO. Drew had like a cheat sheet of notes on a piece of paper on
Yeah.
the floor in front of him.
Yeah.
You know, chords and
Yeah.
'cause
notes about the song.
We'd only done one rehearsal, I
I
think,
was
before
saying,
that.
Yeah, taking on a whole
And-
new set of music. That must have been pretty
So I just had
difficult.
5 songs down, but
He
was
nailed
fun.
it.
It was fun, and music is fun. It's great, and then you want things to click because honestly, in a band, the relationship factor is really important because
Sure.
we spend so much time together.
It's a family.
Yeah.
It's a family, and so little did I know at that time it was going to be like a band of brothers. We have brothers in the band. John and
Yeah.
Tim are biological brothers, but then I feel like us as a band are all like brothers, closer than brothers. So
Yeah, because you spend, touring. You guys are probably sharing a bus, and
yeah.
Well, back in the day, it wasn't a bus; it was a minivan,
what was your
rented
first?
minivan.
What was your first tour like?
Man, well, we used to tour kind of regionally, literally in John and Tim's mom's minivan, little Toyota minivan, and we'd throw drums and guitars in there and just be driving all through the night. I remember one tour, we're somewhere near Ohio, and I had driven because I was the oldest, and at that point we had graduated to a rental van. And
Nice.
it was I could rent the van. So I think I drove somewhere between 12 and 13 hours straight to get to this gig
Whoa.
in Ohio, and I was so tired. We got there, we start playing the show, and there was a mellow moment where John does kind of an acoustic song in the middle. So I, as a drummer, I just kick back, kind of lean my head against the back wall of the stage. The lights are kind of dim, and John's playing this mellow song, and all of a sudden, I fell asleep. I don't know if it was 10 seconds or 10 minutes, but I remember all of a sudden, our bass player came over and kicked my foot. Wake up. And we're literally on stage. Given it was not a big show, but I'm sure there are people there that started laughing at me falling asleep during the concert.
That is amazing. What was your first experience touring?
Well, so when I started touring with Switchfoot, we were playing 300-person rock clubs around the
Okay.
country, and we were playing like anywhere and everywhere. And so we would play our hearts out for whoever many people were there, And we decided to play in clubs, and it was like, let's give this a shot. And so my first band had a bus, and we used that for a tour. It was pretty fun. And then after that, we started going through just touring after touring after touring. And man, 15 years goes fast. Like
Yeah.
we toured a lot, man. Most people think of The Beautiful Letdown as our first record. Well, I joined the band right when that record was about to come out.
Okay.
And we toured that record for like 2 years before, we really experienced kind of that wind in our sails lift that it started catching on radio, which was a big thing back then, and it still is. And it felt like we were on the road for 2 years straight,
Yeah.
So-
We were doing at one point over 200 shows a year, which is a lot.
That
you know? And granted, we try not to do that anymore.
Yeah, especially with
Now
family.
we've all got families here in San Diego, and we enjoy being home more, and a lot of reasons to be home in San Diego. So we try to limit our touring now and just
Yeah.
do a little bit more strategic. But yeah, back in the day, we were just living on the road, just grinding it out,
Yeah.
but loving it. Just with an absolute
Yeah.
passion and a feeling of like, man, we love these songs. We believe in this band. We want to just see it happen and connect with people. And yeah, that was kind of the fire.
Yeah.
And bands ask us, guys, what would you say to a younger band? Like, what advice would you give to younger bands?
Actually, that's our last. That's the
Okay,
question.
well, I
no,
can
no,
hold
no,
on.
no, no, no.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Say it now.
Say
But it comes in right off of what Chad was saying.
Uh-huh.
When you're touring that much as a band and you're a baby band and you're just getting your teeth cut, on venues and playing for crowds and how does this work, you have to enjoy those moments. Even though those crowds are smaller, because sometimes those are the best moments. You don't want to miss them. Some people are always looking to what's ahead. Like it'll be better
Bigger,
when
better.
there's
Bigger.
500. It'll be better when there's 5,000. It'll be better when there's 50,000 people.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not. Like to be honest with you, some of the most memorable shows are those small club shows where everybody was just, you know, slugging it out, carrying our own gear, just having the time of our lives, and people there are so passionate, and just don't miss those moments. I guess that's
Yeah.
what I tell bands starting out is like enjoy every moment.
That's amazing. Going back to recording, like you said, you recorded the demo early on, like when you were in college
Yeah.
together.
Yeah,
How
we had
did
a little 4-track machine. Like, remember those little cassette
Yeah,
4 tracks, little knobs?
and then did you guys just record that yourselves, or were
Yeah,
you
like
in, a studio
in
and-
John's bedroom in
Oh
his
my
house here
gosh.
in Cardiff. Yeah.
Wow.
His parents' house.
And then
Yeah.
how did you get approached? Were you shopping the demo around? Like how did you guys get
We didn't even
signed
know
to a label
what
and stuff?
shopping a demo was.
Okay.
It
It
was
was
literally
just-
like we printed 100 cassettes. Does anybody here remember cassettes?
Yes.
And, yeah, we printed 100 cassettes, and we would give them away to friends. Or, you know, I don't know that we actually made any money off of those, but yeah, just give them away at shows, and you know, play somebody's backyard party and give away a few, and just trying to get the songs out there. And then it was weird. We got a voicemail one day at John's parents' house from a producer who happened to get one of these cassettes. Somebody passed it along to a producer in Nashville. And we got a call. I said, hey, I'm going to fly out and rent a studio and record you guys. And so we did that here in San Diego at Studio West. And we recorded every song we knew. He's like, just play it all. He just let
Wow.
the tape roll, and we just played it. And we were terrible. And then he went to fly back to Nashville to go play it for some record executives to see if he could get us a deal, a record deal. Well, unfortunately, or fortunately, his luggage was lost, and the tapes were lost.
Oh.
So nobody ever heard these recordings
Oh
of how
my gosh.
bad we were playing our songs live. But he still liked the demo enough that he got us a record deal anyway.
Oh my gosh.
So funny story.
Was that your first experience in a studio? Like
Yeah, that
recording
was
in
like
the
first
studio?
time in a proper studio. Yeah,
Well-
just for like one day. He just rented it for a few hours.
And it was just all live.
Yeah, we
written-
just set up like we would it.
You weren't tracking it. It was just
And then
all.
it's just like, go, play the songs.
Oh my gosh.
And he was just kind of a little bit out of tune and, you know,
Yeah.
whatever.
The lost baggage
Lost
recordings by Switchfoot. will
Yeah,
show
that'll
up
be
someday.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wonder who found that. That's insane to think about. Like somebody
Yeah.
just
Maybe
picked those up and
Someone like, this isn't my luggage. What
Yeah.
are these tapes?
So then you start getting some wins in your sales. You're touring, you're playing, and then you guys get nominated for a Grammy Award. Like how?
Yeah, I mean, those kinds of awards or accolades are, you know, that's just a gift just out of nowhere.
Yeah. That record,
Hello, Hurricane.
Hello Hurricane, was a beast of a record.
Yeah.
We recorded like 80 songs for that
Like a
record.
year and a half?
It took forever. It was like a
Just
year and a half of recording.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And we were like, we're lost. We don't know how this record's going to get finished and come out. And then I guess it was Mike Elizondo that came in as a sort of producer finisher and said, all right, what are the songs that only Switchfoot can sing? Like, let's weed out everything else that you can envision another band doing and stick with the songs that are like, only you guys. Like, this is so us that no other band could pull it off. Like, this is just your identity of your band. And so we narrowed it down from 80 to, I guess, 10 or 12 that are on there and put that record out. And it was a real monumental struggle for us and a monumental passing into building our own studio. And then for that record to be nominated and win a Grammy was one of those things that just, you know, we'll never forget. We were literally recording the next songs for the next record when the Grammys happened, and we left the studio, went to LA, accepted the Grammy, and then next day we were back in the studio, kind of looking at each other like, did we just go to LA and win a Grammy last night?
It was surreal.
It seemed like a weird, fake Hollywood world that we stepped into and then kind of stepped out of, and we're like, nah, that was
I
weird.
think growing up in San Diego, you know, we're sort of the underdog music scene.
Sure.
You know, compared to LA or
Yeah.
New York. And you know, I love that. I love the fact that San Diego has always been very eclectic, and it's very grassroots and very supportive of all different genres of music. I remember we'd play shows back in college days, and there'd be a punk band playing with a hip hop band playing with some emo band, and they're all helping each other carry their gear off stage and just standing there cheering on the next band. It was just a family. You're just part of this kind of adopted family of music here in San Diego. And I've never felt that when we go to LA or New York. It's a little bit more professional or competitive
industry.
Music scene and Hollywood and all that. But I just love being from San Diego, that it's different. It's not that. So I guess when we went to Hollywood to get the Grammy, it did feel a little bit out of our element. Like, are we really? This little band from San Diego is actually allowed up on stage right now?
Well, we're both from San Diego as well, so we've grown up with Switchfoot, and it's awesome. And you guys give so much back to San Diego. It's with the Bro-Am and all the things that you do. And it's just so amazing to see a success story from, a San Diego band that has just always been, giving back to their community. And we love that. It's amazing.
Oh, we're really, really thankful for the support of the San Diego community and all that we've been given. We laughed that music and surfing kept us out of trouble growing up. And so, we just look for ways to give back. There's so many great organizations helping youth, and we just really want to invest in those kids and the next generation of what's coming up, not only here in San Diego, but all over the country. There's some amazing organizations. But the Bro-Am is our favorite day of the year here.
Yeah, Bro-Am. If you didn't know what it was, it's a surf contest and concert on the beach for charity. So we raise money and give it all away to charity. 5 different charities here in San Diego that all have to do with at-risk kids. So that's where our heart is at, and that's what we do once a year. It's been 15 years now that we've done this Bro-Am event. So
that is so cool.
You guys both grew up in musical families. Like your mom's a music teacher, and then your dad's in bands. Like, were they in the beginning like super supportive? Like you guys went to college, and then were they like, yeah, go ahead, or did they want you guys to get?
I mean, my parents are definitely supportive of me playing music, but never allowed me to kind of have these grandiose dreams of making it professionally,
doing
as
it
a
as a
musician.
career.
It was always kind of like, well, you should probably go to college and get a real job, as a backup plan, And then eventually, when kind of music sort of took off for us and allowed us to do this full time, they were kind of like, okay, you sure? All right, okay, we'll see how it goes, So I am thankful though that I was exposed to music at an early age. I remember my parents were really into Motown and the Beatles and Stevie Wonder, and I just remember hearing those songs on the record player as a kid, and just being fascinated with rock and roll and soul and funk and Motown, and I just loved it all.
That's awesome. Yeah, my mom was supportive, but my dad was a Navy guy, and he was kind of like, I don't know about this music thing.
Skeptical.
You better have a backup plan. And it was when we won the Grammy that he was like, I go, Dad, we won a Grammy. He goes, you guys must be doing pretty good. I was like, well, thanks, Dad. So, but they are supportive, yeah, and I'm thankful for that.
Like, if you weren't playing in Switchfoot right now, what would your career path have been?
It's funny. I started off college PreMed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my mom was a nurse, and I was just kind of always around doctors and stuff. Thought, wow, that'd be really cool to help people. And I thought maybe I'd be a pediatrician. Liked kids, liked helping kids. But, my life took a different course. Music kind of became a side path that ended up being the main thing. And I love it. I'm so glad it turned out this way.
Sure.
I went to school for fine arts, so I was a drama kid, and I always thought I would teach school or teach music at school, or teach special ed. Honestly, and my younger brother has Down syndrome, and I've always been really close to him, and really special place in my heart. So he's, so that's why I was interested in that too. So
that's amazing. Yeah, our son one of our sons is autistic, and my mom was a special ed teacher for
Really?
years and years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, actually,
That's really cool.
School here in San Diego. So
That's important
Oh,
work.
no way.
Yeah.
What school?
Mount Carmel. High
That's where I
School.
went.
What?
That's where we went to high school.
I went to Mount Carmel, you guys.
Mind
No
blown.
way.
Oh, that's
Sun
awesome.
Devils.
Sun Devils.
Yes.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
I was probably before you. I'm
Cool.
92. Class 92.
Oh
We,
my
we were
So-
03, but
Huh?
2003.
Yeah.
Yeah, rad.
not too
Sun
far
Devils,
behind.
yeah. Grew up right there on Black Mountain Road. That's where I grew up.
It looks a lot
Wow.
nicer now. They like totally
So
redid
I did all
it.
the plays at Mount Carmel. And
Oh,
stuff.
so she was a music teacher at Mount Carmel.
She taught at Scripps Ranch High
Oh.
School.
Okay.
Well, that was nice and
Yeah.
newer.
It was. yeah.
School.
Yeah, that's so crazy. My mom was probably teaching there when you went there. That's so wild. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
so you
dude.
grew up in Penasquitos
I
as
did.
well?
I did.
And were you in Cardiff too, or
I
where?
went to Carlsbad High School.
Oh, Carlsbad. Ah,
Yeah.
all North County then.
Yeah. I
That's
love it.
so cool.
I still live up in that area, and that's where our band headquarters, our studios up there, and yeah, we just love being local here and never want to leave.
Yeah.
This is the
That's
best city in the world.
Yeah.
The more we travel, the more I realize how great San Diego is. You know, every time you fly into this airport, it's like going on vacation.
Bringing it back